Welcome, 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 everyone. Good morning. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. Great to see you today. Welcome.
Online. Thank
Please let us mute our microphone, please. Can we mute our microphones as we join? As we join, please let's mute our microphones. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. Okay, as we join, please let us mute our microphones as we join. Welcome. Let me go remind everyone of the group. Great. So I want us in the chat box, let us type in where we are joining from. Your country, your state, if you're in Nigeria, where are you joining from? Let us know your name. Let us know in the chat box. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Great to see you here. Can I see in the chat box where you're joining from, your name, and where you're joining from? I see Olubukola says Abuja. Nice. Okay. Who else? Let us know where Lagos or Labisi. I see Dafe says from Lagos. I see Taiwo from Ibadan. Great. I see someone from Ghana. Dorothy. I see someone from Ghana there. That's from Western North. Dako. Amos from Ghana. I see Dare from Para. I see Rick Odumegu from Lagos. Oh, I see someone from Sokoto. Great.
Yeah, hi.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Where are you joining from?
Yeah, we are joining from Iman International School.
Which state?
Sokoto.
Oh,
Sokoto State.
Great.
Yeah,
great.
This is my colleague, Mr. Chima. We're all from Sokoto.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for joining us. Good morning. Don't worry, we're going to have a fantastic time in this in 4 weeks. We're going to have a fantastic time together. I see Nnamdi from Nnamdi Kingston from Port Harcourt. I see Olaide from Ogun State, Fasina from Lagos. Great. Welcome everyone. I'm so excited that you're joining me here today. And Veronica says she's not hearing anything. Please, can you check your microphone? It should be from your end. You can check your microphone, okay? Who else again? So let's type in the chat box. I see someone from Enugu, John Mba from Enugu. Great. So while we are waiting, okay, I want us to mute our microphones. Everyone mute your microphones. Let me go remind people on the group again that they should join. Okay? 1 minute. Okay? So let me go remind them on the group. And please, if you haven't joined the group, do kindly join the group. I'm going to share the WhatsApp group soon. Okay? So before we kick off, I want to ask a very, I want us to, before we start something very serious, and I know teachers do employ this strategy in class, before you want to start a very hard and serious topic, you have to make the kids calm. So I want to make you calm this morning before we start by asking you this question. If you had all the resources in the world, you had all the help in the world, all the money in the world, okay, what particular meal, what food will you want to eat this morning as breakfast? Let me see it in the chat box. You can travel anywhere. Let's say you can teleport anywhere in the world. What particular meal will you want to eat this morning now? Let me see in the chat box. Let's see it. Let's see. Can I see your answer in the chat box? Oh, someone says some samosa meal. Great. Who? Aqua and white soup. This morning, white soup. As for my Igbo people, a strong one. This morning, white soup. Nice one. Okay, what meal? Let me see in the chat box, please. I would love to see. Oh, Papa Moi Moi, fried rice and chicken. Nice. I know that this Papa Moi Moi should be from your, this is what your mom used to, there's a particular meal that you grew up with that your mom every morning is special. I'm sure this is Papa Moi Moi Akara. I know that. Adeyemi says jollof rice. Emmanuel says sandwich and a chilled bottle of juice. Oh, Matthew says fried egg and samosa. Nice. Amala, Abula. Who is this person this morning? Olaika, my great. Nice one. Amala. That egufe is a gufe in the amala that's always, it's a Yoruba delicacy. And what really, really pulls me to that delicacy is the gufe. When they serve you one very nice big goat meat, you would be very, very happy. Abacha, my Eastern people with fried fish and chilled juice. Veronica says bitter leaf soup. One day. This soup, to the Eastern people, it can cure many types of diseases. If you're having malaria, just go and eat bitter leaf soup. I know my Eastern people knows this. Tolulope says black amala and jute soup. Nice. That's a way to put the local name here. It's a way to soup. Okay. Tosin said I would just sort myself out a bowl of soup with assorted. Oh, nice. Thank you guys for the engagement. Let me see it coming as we wait for others to join. So what will you really eat this morning? Okay. If you had, I'm quite happy that I'm seeing the delicacies I've been seeing here are African dishes. Sometimes when I do ask this question, I see a lot of people say spaghetti Bongolese. Darati, you know that, right? They say spaghetti Bongolese. They will call some very foreign foods. But I'm happy that I'm seeing, okay, the group link. Okay, I will share the group link soon with you. What else? Please, meeting ID. People are still asking for the meeting ID. You need to register and the ID and everything will be sent to you. Okay. And if, okay, let me just share that on the group. If you're having difficulty, sorry, give me a minute. Let me share some things. People are finding difficulty in logging in on the group. Let me see. Please use another browser. Please let us mute our microphone. You are having. Okay. Please use another browser if you have any. Okay. So, what else?
Give you problem. Just watch whether they say mute number.
Please, can we mute our microphone, please? Can we mute our microphone? Let us mute our microphone, please. Okay. Mohammed, can you, okay, Godfrey, can you help me mute people? Yeah. Then Mohammed, I will make you a co-host.
Okay, all right. Blessing, you're muted. You're muted. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to share the WhatsApp group link for those that haven't joined. Okay, the group who isn't on the group. Okay, before we start. All right. So I have shared that on the group. Some people have been asking for the WhatsApp group link. Okay, I've shared that. Oh, I see Muhammad. Muhammad says Gambia has the best jollof rice. Why do you want to intimidate us here, Muhammad? Why? Why do you want to intimidate us with Gambia jollof rice?
Because we won the jollof rice competition, and that's a proven record that we have the best jollof rice
in the whole world. Let us agree something. Where did jollof rice originate from?
It's Gambia and Senegal. The word jollof is Wolof, associated to Wolof. So Wolof. It's ours.
Oh, yes. yeah. Dorothy, you agree, right?
I am shocked. I
actually saw it. It's actually confirmed. The origin of jollof rice is from Senegal, not even Gambia or Ghana or Nigeria. It's Senegal. It's a Senegal dish.
Thank you. I'm wondering why Gambia was taken.
Everyone is trying to claim it, but it is from Senegal. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for being early and on time. We're not going to take your time. So I'm quickly going to share my screen and do the introductions. And Mohammed, you will take the PhET tour. Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm here, yeah.
Yeah, you will take the PhET tour when it's time for that, okay? Thank you.
Okay.
So welcome everyone to today's workshop. Today is the first workshop of the 4-series workshop. So we're going to be doing this in the 4 Saturdays of this month. So today we're going to be focusing on introduction to PhET simulation, telling you all about PhET simulation. After that, you're going to be having an assignment that you have to work on. Okay, then the next Saturday, we're going to go into activity design, then the upper implementation, then we'll finally wrap up the 4th Saturday. Okay, and the WhatsApp group will be opened. Okay, after this meeting, I'm going to open up the WhatsApp group where you can start asking your questions on how to go about your assignments, how to submit any backup you need, any support you need. You can always ask your questions on the WhatsApp group. Okay, so thank you so much for being with us today. And I promise you, it's going to be a very eye-opening, interactive session, and it's going to take your STEM teaching to another level. Okay, and anyway, let me just show you some things. Okay, so introductions first. Welcome everyone. We have, I think by around 12, Rebecca should join us. You're going to see Rebecca. Okay, Rebecca is the director of Global Initiative PhET, okay, from the University of Colorado, Boulder. And we have Zach Mbasu. You'll see Zach Mbasu in one of the weekends. Not every weekend you meet all of them, but you will surely meet one of them, every one of them during the course of the workshops. Okay, so Zach Mbasu, which is here, this is Zach Mbasu, is the PhET ambassador and leader lead in Africa. He's in Kenya, based in Kenya, Nairobi. We have Shola, who is based here, is the first PhET STEM specialist in Lagos, Nigeria. And you have me, Blessing. My name is Blessing Chukwuka. Okay, I'm a PhET fellow and also the founder of DTW Tutorials. You will know more about that very soon. I have here my wonderful PhET fellows and colleagues who is joining me today, to impact lives. And we have here, you'll hear very soon from Mohammed Chuka Joff. He's from Gambia. Okay, he's a Gambian-born STEM educator and educator. Okay, and he runs an NGO that impacts a lot of lives in Gambia. Okay, and he has collaborated with the government of Gambia to train over 200 STEM teachers, okay, on the use of digital technologies to enhance STEM teaching. I also have here with me Godfrey. Don't worry, I think Mohammed is going to anchor the breakout section on biology. So my biology teachers, get ready to have an interesting time in your breakout room. I also have here Godfrey. Okay, Godfrey is a dedicated physics and mathematics teacher in Kenya, Nairobi. Okay, and is also a PhET STEM champion and specialist. He's committed to improving STEM teaching in classrooms. Okay, he has done a lot of projects in several, diverse. I think there was the last time he went to a very remote country, in very remote part of Kenya to, train teachers on the use of PhET simulations. So he has been doing a lot of work. I also have with me Dorothy from Ghana, my Ghana sister, very close to me. Okay, she's also a PhET fellow. All this, my wonderful colleagues are PhET fellows. Okay, so she's also a PhET fellow. She's the project coordinator. Okay, I'm STEM coordinator with Innovate with STEM. She works closely with Trulo. I think that's an oil company, okay, who sponsors her going into several schools. I think her last program, she trained, I think over 600 girls, right, Dorothy? Okay, in a workshop, and she goes in several parts of Ghana to try to spread the awareness of STEM, making girls, interested in STEM. Okay, making girls interested in STEM. That's what she's, and my woman power, she's she's part here with us, trying to make sure girls like us get into STEM. All right. So to bridge that particular gender gap in STEM education. So these are my wonderful fellow PhET colleagues that are going to be joining me in this session today. Okay. And quickly, I'm going to introduce the facilitator of this workshop, which is DTW Foundation. Okay, DTW Foundation is the creator of DTW Tutorials, an educational channel on YouTube, and we have been on YouTube since 2017, and over, I think, 50,000 subscribers, 2 million views, okay, impacting lives of the Nigerian students especially, okay, and other African students. But my content focus on WAEC, NECO, and JAM, post-UME, Junior WAEC, with free maths and physics videos. And we have been encouraging teachers to also train with STEM. Okay, sorry, I'm a bit distracted. I would say I have, over the past, how many years now, DTW Foundation has been able to train over 1,500 teachers on the use of simulations like PhET and other digital tools to make education and teaching better. So that's where we are now, and that's what we're doing. You can find us on YouTube by just searching DTW Tutorials. Okay, so before I get into the course proper, I want to give you our workshop objectives and expectations. Okay, so this sequence addresses the following objectives. So our first thing, which is the first workshop here, is Introduction to PhET Simulation, where we're going to learn what makes PhET sims unique, how to find PhET sims, reflect on active learning, embed, share sims with others, discuss about several strategies that we can use to teach with PhET. Okay, and after this, our next workshop will be activity design and with PhET simulation, where we'll reflect on inquiry learning in maths and science education. We're also going to be looking at developing strategies for writing a sim-based inquiry activities in maths and science. Mohammed, Dorothy, and Godfrey, please, can you help me respond to the chats? Okay, if anyone is asking any question, please help me respond. Mohammed, Thank you. Okay. And so that will be for next week. Then the third week will be on implementation of PhET activities for STEM education. And it would be on how we can become familiar with strategies to facilitate students' use of PhET of simulations during an activity. Okay, so very important is please do immediately after this particular training, we're going to be sending out emails. Now you might be asking, how do you submit assignments? Where do you do it? How do you go about it? Now, you're going to do everything on Coursera, okay? And it's going to be free. Coursera is a paid platform, but the payment has already been done by the University of Colorado Boulder, okay? So we are going to send you invitations from our back end. So you are going to see 3 invitations like this. If you're going to see invitation to join Nigerian STEM Teachers DTW, Introduction to PhET, Activity Design, Implementation to Activities for PhET Education, you're going to see 3 emails. We're going to send this out immediately after this training today. So by tomorrow, you should get it. The server is usually very slow, okay? But by tomorrow, you would get it. Please ensure that you join the course, because in that Coursera course, we have already outlined several steps. There are videos, there are resources that you read. There are also templates that you use to submit your assignment. After submission, there's grading. And after grading, when you are done with introduction to PhET, you'll be issued the certificate automatically when you are done. Are you with me? So there are steps to follow. So please, I want to emphasize this. Please join from the email. When you click here, don't worry, I'm going to show you how to join at the later end when we are ending. But please, when you click here, there will be a button to join. Join immediately all the 3 courses. Why I say this is, if you don't join from here, you just go to Coursera on your own, it's going to charge you $69. And $69 in Nigeria now is about 69,000 naira. Okay, I don't know about the Ghana cedis. Okay, so please join from the email that we are going to send to you so that it will be free. It is a free program for African community. Okay, PhET has made it free for the African community. So please, I emphasize again, join all the 3 courses immediately. Okay, if you haven't registered on Coursera before, when you click there, okay, use the email that you use to register for this program, because that's the email that we are going to send invites to. Use it to register on Coursera. And when you register, come back and join all the courses. So it would be on your dashboard, because I see some participants do make a mistake of just joining one course and suddenly they join the other course on the website and it starts asking them to pay. So please join from the emails sent to you. The 3 emails, join them at once, so it's on your dashboard. So from there, you can always, walk through the course. Okay, please, very, very important. All right, and if you're having any other issues, the WhatsApp group is open for your questions. All right, please, Miriam, please stop writing on the screen. We can see that on the screen. Okay, so now going on, our objectives. By the end of this session, you'll be able to understand STEM and its relevance, appreciate the importance of EdTech in the classroom for 21st century. You're going to be able to locate, interact with PhET simulations. You're going to be able to implement PhET simulation with your students and find help and support using PhET simulations. That's the objectives of today. Please, Miriam Agagba, please stop annotating on the screen. We can see it, please. So why do we need STEM in Africa? Why do we need STEM? Okay, it's very important to note that 17% of the world's population is in Africa. And yet we're still behind other regions, far behind when it comes to STEM. Everything we import, every manpower, AI, we are importing it. almost everything, machineries, everything we import. And all these things, STEM is the bedrock of it. So we need STEM. And what is STEM? STEM is just simply, it's an acronym that simply stands for science, technology, engineering, and maths. And it's an approach to education that focuses on hard sciences, develops critical thinking skills, and improves problem-solving abilities. That's what STEM is about. And it's a driver for economic performance. Once every individual, almost every child knows and embraces STEM, it becomes an economic driver. Let's look at a counterpart like China. Okay, almost every child knows how to assemble an electronic robotics. They know, because it has already been mapped out in their agenda for each child. So they are STEM-driven, STEM-focused. That's why they are the manufacturing hub of the world, because they had a plan. So that's why we are also here trying to advocate, trying to preach, trying to be an evangelist of STEM, because that is what's going to help our economy in Africa, in any part of Africa, whichever country it is, Ghana, be it Libya, be it in Nigeria. STEM is going to be that driving force that will foster economic growth, so we can start exporting our own technology and machineries. So it is important that we need STEM in Africa. So why do we need to teach and learn with technology? Now, I'm going to show you two images here. This is the first image, and this is the second image. I'm going to ask now, and I want your answers in the chat box. Which of these images, where do you think the students would learn better? And how do you think they would learn? Can I see your answers in the chat box? In which of these two images do you feel students will learn better? And how do you feel, and how? Okay, I will just allow one person to speak. Tosin, please, you can speak. You can unmute and speak, Tosin. Tosin, do you want to speak? Okay, if you don't want to speak, or is there any one person that want to speak? One person to speak. Okay, Tosin, you can speak. Yes, I can hear you, Tosin.
I think the students will learn better in the second image.
And how will they learn? What will be the impact of their learning with the second image?
I can see practical display of the content of what they want to learn.
Okay. So what will be the impact? What will be the final result? Them learning like this.
The learning will be more effective. Students will get to understand better the concept of what they are being taught.
Great one. Okay.
The instructor is making it more practical before them.
Oh, great. Thank you. Olubukola, just quickly, a minute. You can unmute and speak.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. The children will be fully immersed in the teaching activities, and it's going to prompt their curiosity to actually want to see more and explore more about what they are seeing and learning. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Dafe, can you speak?
Okay, from the image displayed, I can see that the learning is, or the teaching and learning process is student-centric. It's not teacher-centered. This will arouse the student to curiosity. It will lead them to be curious. It also stimulates them to wanting to know, because that image will create an imaginary experience or an imaginary fact that they will want to materialize. They want to see in nature.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so that will be all for now, but I'm going to further ask questions later. So we've all said it, okay, right from Bukola to Dafe and the first speaker. We've all said it correctly, that this is going to what? Is the student agency here, because it's student-centered. Even if it's student-centered, but the teacher has done his own part by arranging the resources. That's why technology can never replace a teacher. Do we agree? Let me say a thumbs up in the chat. Can technology replace a teacher? You know, teachers are scared. AI is going to replace a teacher. It can never. Do we agree? Let me say a no or yes. Let me say no, yes. It can never replace a teacher, not at all. Okay, are you with me? So technology can. We are there as teachers to put that scaffolding for them. Because if there is no proper structure to how they will learn, everything will be scattered. And anything scattered is garbage in, garbage out. Are you with me? So it can't replace a teacher. That's why but we know that technology is, this generation, it is part of their daily lives. So we as teachers, we have to embrace it. Okay, because if we continue teaching this way, children that with the rate of mobile phones and all that, they would not listen. If we continue teaching the rote manners and the rote method, they would not be able to even catch up with what you are doing. But when you won't be able to catch their interest, but when you bring digital, because it's a digital world now for them, it will be able to sink in. It will help them retain knowledge better. That's why we are here to help teachers to leverage the use of technology in their teaching to help our learners become more, how will I put it, more interested in STEM. Because if we use old methods, they would lose interest in STEM. And you see everybody now, we want to be a musician because it's easy. Everyone will want to be arts because it's easy, but we need the builders. Whether we like it or not, we need builders. So we have to make it interesting for them to be interested in sciences, in STEM, in engineering, in maths, in technology. Okay? So that's it. So it is important for us to leverage with teaching with what? Technology. All right? Let me quickly leave here. All right, so quickly on PhET, I know everybody wants to know what is PhET interactive simulation. PhET stands for what? Physics Education Technology, okay? And it was founded by Carl Wehrmann in 2002, okay? So Carl Wehrmann was a Nobel Prize winner in physics in 2001, and he dedicated that $1 million to this initiative. You know, we met during our PhET fellowship, okay, with my fellow colleagues. We met Carl Wehrmann, and my question was, $1 million. You took $1 million and just put it for this course. Sir, is it that you have too much money like that? And you know, when people just have a heart, he explained his background, how he lived in America, and where he lived was completely out of the grid. People that live like in into the interlands and all that. And to go to school was like difficult for him, but he still pressed on. His parents had to do some things for him to make sure he goes to school, that he wants education to reach every child in the world. That's why the passion. And it also says sincerely, he's a professor in Stanford University, and he's quite comfortable. So he was like, why do I really need this $1 million again? Let me just, do something. And I was quite happy we have such individuals in the world, because I know that some of my brothers here in Africa, in fact, let me quickly ask, let me digress a bit. What will you do with $1 million? Let me see 10 responses. Let me see 10 responses. If you were given $1 million in the chat box, what will you do with it? Let me see the first response that will come. Oh my God, a lot. Like, what will you do with $1 million? Let me just see the first 10 responses before I go forward. Let me hear people's response. What will you do with $1 million? You see, build a house. Okay, so which other person? Let me see your responses. Business, real estate. Plenty. First of all, chop life, girl. Augustina said she's going to chop life. Teacher training, are you sure? Teacher training and education, is that what you will do? Okay, build a school. Nice. So say, nice one. Say, invest in real estate, center of excellence in my community, build a house, set up my school. Oh, great. Impact knowledge, great. Wonderful. Build comfort and my... Christopher is just telling the plain truth. He said, build comfort around my life. Oh. Okay, great, wonderful responses from you. So now let's go back. So he devoted this, a course for sciences. So why the physics? Because it started with physics simulation. He is a physics professor, so he started with physics simulation. And over the course of time, PhET is over 21 years now. PhET is 21 years and has over 190 simulations. So over the course of time, when they saw that, oh, physics simulation working, kids are doing, can you do maths? Can you do biology? Can you do chemistry? And so it's expanded to other sciences. And today, more and more simulations are being done for everyone around the world. And yes, it is absolutely free. My colleague Mohammed will take you through a tour very soon. PhET simulations are absolutely free to download and use. And best of all, it works offline. So they killed the problem of internet. So anyway, you're going to see it. You can download this sim and take to class and work without the internet. As beautiful as that. Okay? So that's what Kaweman do. Thank God for him. Okay? And this initiative. So, and the goal of PhET simulation is to make STEM learning more engaging, okay, relevant, accessible, effective, and personalized. All right. And you will see from a simulation very soon how engaging it is, how relevant. So the goal is to make PhET simulation, okay, learning like doing STEM itself. So you will see that some simulation are like labs, physical labs. All right, it complements your teaching, complements physical labs, and is accessible well. Okay, and finally, I would give the floor now to Mohammed. Mohammed, I'm going to stop sharing. Mohammed is going to take us through a tour of. Mohammed, are you there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, so you can share your screen and give a tour of the PhET site.
Okay, so how many minutes are you giving me for that?
You can take 15 minutes should do. 15 minutes should do.
Okay.
Just please make sure you show them everything. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So
ahead.
Good morning to everyone here. This is Mohammed Jukajuv, like Blessing said. Currently presenting this from the Gambia. I'm a Gambian, and I hope this session is going to be a great one. Let me please share my screen. Blessing, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Go ahead.
Oh, all right. So usually the first things that I want to focus on is how do people find this particular teaching resource, because you tend to have discussions from a lot of teachers. How do I get access to these PhET simulations? Is this online or offline? So like we're used to using Google and all that. Any question that we have, it's always a good idea to go to Google and type whatever you see or you were trying to access or you want to know more about. So as we have seen on the presentation from Blessing, the acronym here is PhET, which is the Physics Educator and Technology. So I would presume anyone, and someone is actually not muted. Blessing, can you check who is unmuted right now? All right. So like any other person right now, just presume this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna type PhET on Google site, and it will give me multiple results. Right here, you can see the URL link to the PhET website, and here you can see what is PhET in different platforms. You can see Google Play where you have PhET simulations, and you can have YouTube videos on PhET, and equally other resources. And now one thing that is also important, let's say for instance you're a teacher and you said, okay, this is PhET, but I want to know more about PhET. So let's say I type in and say PhET and put in, let's say maybe a research work, because this is one question that people tend to ask. Do you have any documents that back the effective use of PhET simulations? Have it been proven anywhere? Do you have any content on it? It's always important. You can type in something like that and say PhET and research. It's an easy way to search for anything that you're looking for. Here you have scholarly articles where you have PhET and the research, and you have all this research data and all the URLs that you can access. So now I'm just going to click on this one here. This is what I want to click on right now. So if I click on that particular link or that particular URL, it brings me down to this platform now, this website. So just the overview of the website right now, what I'm seeing on my screen, it's a PhET Simulations logo. You have simulations, teaching resources, initiatives. So let me just scroll down and see. So without telling you much about this particular website, it's pretty much very self-explanatory. Here you have it's over 1.4 billion simulations delivered. You have physics, chemistry, math, art, science, and biology. Maybe I will scroll down and say, okay, we have about 167 interactive simulations. These things are translated into 121 languages, and 3,411 teachers submitted lessons. So let's say I come down here, I say, okay, now, you know, I'm a physics teacher or a physics lecturer or student. Let me just click on this and see what happens. So now, if you look at this particular URL that I've just clicked, or this link that I've just clicked on the physics, you can see most of these things you're seeing on the left here are all cascaded down. You have physics, but you have motion, you have sound and waves, work, energy, heat, and thermal. So let's say, for instance, I just say, okay, let me just scroll and see what happens here. I'm seeing different kinds of simulations, and I'm seeing, let's say, collisions here. I'm seeing gravity, waves, and diffusion. So let's say, for instance, I click on the waves and energy. Just out of curiosity, you will see this particular simulations here where it tells you to play. So play, generally, if you click, you go directly into the simulations. But usually what I would always advise the teachers is, whenever you get into a simulation that you have not used before, or you are not very used to, it's always a good idea for you to look into what the about of that simulation is. It tends to give you a more grounded detail on what the simulation is used for. I would presume if you're a physics teacher, it's automatic for you to understand that any simulation that has to do with energy forms and changes would have to deal with heat, energy transfers, energy conservations, and heat conduction. So here, for every simulation, this is not just peculiar to only this particular simulation I've opened, but any simulation that we have opened would have this particular resource center where you have the topics. Here in the topics, you have conservation of energy. You have the sample learning goals, like predict how energy will flow when objects are heated. This necessarily is not something that a teacher would just generally use in class. You know, these are just sample learning goals. I would presume if I'm teaching, let's say, grade 10 or grade 11 students or grade 7 students, I'm able to develop my lesson plans as per what I want them to understand at that particular grade level. The system requirements is a HTML5. This HTML5, you tend to understand there are certain simulations that are Java-based, and there's a lot of work being done in the background to make sure they are all HTML5. HTML5, in a sense, now you are able to open the simulations directly on the web browser. You have the Flash, you have the HTML5, you have the Java version. So, but the beautiful thing is you're able to use the in-house browser that you're using for you to be able to open this particular simulations. So also, you can, let's say, use this particular simulation, but down here you will have more information now. It is telling you have related sims to this particular sim that you've opened. You understand? One of those sims here is, let's say you see down here on the far right, you see the states of matter, you see states of matter basic, you know, so these are all interrelated sims that you can use one sim to teach a particular topic. And it does not only stop at that particular topic, but you can use this to teach chemistry, you can use this to teach physics. So now one important thing that is also very important for teachers is the resource centers, right? If you open the Teachers Resource Center, you're able to see I had to sign in here. And one thing that I will also highlight is it is important for you to sign up on the PhET website where you are a user, right? So if I have logged into my account here, if you have never, let's say, opened an account with PhET, sorry, let me just put this down. This icon that you see here, you literally just click, put in your email, your password. If you do not have an email or a password because you are not a registered user, you have to register first, put in all the details that you have to put in, then you'll have an account and you can access all of this. But right here on the bottom that I've just scrolled down to, you tend to see topics, titles, like let's say you see alignment of PhET sims with NGSS, or how do PhET sims fit in your middle school program, how PhET sims align to the chemistry curriculum and all this. But right here, if I open this particular, let's say, point here where you have this particular sign in, I will tend to have an idea of how to use this particular simulation. So this is why it's important for you to actually log in and have a username and a password for this site. And then part of the activities that you have for this sim, here, let's say, you have high school teachers. So right now, this particular level where you have the level is high school. And then the author is Dorothy Silverman. And the top title for this particular activity is Energy Systems Fed let's say worksheet. If I open the worksheet, it will generally tell me someone is not muted. Sorry, can you mute your mics? So if you open this particular section, you tend to see what this particular person have done. You see, it tells you energy systems fed work. It tells you the subject is physics, details, high school, guided activity. It's a 60 minutes duration and all that. And this is Dorothy here. So I go back again. I presume you have gone through the activity. At least you have an idea of how to use the sim. You have an idea of how to plan your lessons with, let's say, PhET sims and all that. So here you have translations. I'm presuming, let's say, if you're Arabian or something, you are not able to understand English. You tend to understand. These simulations have been translated into this different languages, like I said in the beginning, even in Chinese and all that. And I have also understand you have other African languages that have been translated, into this sim. So I will just go ahead and click on the simulation, and then just to give you a quick overview of what you see on the screen and some of the basic things that you can do. So for this particular sim, the energy forms and changes, you have the introduction version and you have the system version. It is good to be curious. Anything that you see on the screen, tap on it and see what it is used for or why it is there. If I click on this, it tells me the PhET website, report a problem, check for update, screen records, and full screen. If I click on the introduction, so as let's say a general science teacher or a STEM lecturer or something, if you see that on the screen right now, automatically you understand what you can, let's say, without giving you much clue, you tend to understand what are some of these things used for. Right here on the far left, you're able to see a thermometer. On the other side here, you see olive oil, you see water, you have a heat source, then you have a brick and iron. So I'm saying, in, let's say when you're in your grade 7s or you're in a grade 8, you're starting to do, let's say, practicals in physics or other areas in STEM study. They tend to expose you to lab apparatus, So you tend to, let's say, for example, I'll just put in water here. And I understand if I heat the water to a particular degree, it will start boiling and then evaporation will occur. So you're able to use the thermometer to state, okay, how hot is this or how cold is this and all that. So a student automatically understands, okay, I'm having water, but water actually evaporates. Without even going deep into the experiment, you tend to understand there's a lot of molecular movement when you heat water. And then you have this static movement when you freeze it, and then you have this different energy changes that occurs when you do these particles. But this will go back to it when you get into breakout sessions where we get into different areas in the PhET. So here on the first particular link that you have here, I click on it. It's still loading. Sorry. If I click on the old sims, like I said in the beginning, you have the physics, chemistry, and maths. If you're a chemistry teacher, you might just generally say click on the chemistry. But like I said, these sims can be used in different subject areas. This is STEM. So most of the sims, like let's say graphene and all that. We do graphene in physics, we do graphene in chemistry, we do it in biology. So it's not only peculiar to a particular area of study. But if you click down here, you see translated sims that are translated. Then you also have the prototypes. Prototypes are the sims that they're still working on and not fully, let's say, launched. But these are sims that you can still have access to. They might have, let's say, it is here and there because they are not fully developed, but you're still able to access them. So if you open a sim where you do not want to access this, it's always a good idea for you to close it, just to have a finalized sim that has already been used, that is already done and launched. So here, part of the teaching resources, you have the about, you have the tips for using PhET, you have the class activities, share your, let's say, activities, my activities and all that. So if you click on the research, then you have a link to the research, you have the initiatives. It's good to be curious when you're on the website. So it's also good for you to use tips on for how to use PhET. Let's say you've been through this session and maybe you have not understand fully what we were trying to communicate, and you want to probably introduce your colleagues in your school on how to use PhET and what the assembly simulation is all about. It's always a good idea to go to the tips for using PhET you'll have a broad array of information that you can utilize to understand how to use the PhET Sims. Here you have a brief introduction to PhET. You have the tips and resources for teaching with PhET. You have all these resources that you can click and then check. And then let's say let me just open this, the first one. Sorry. If you come to the first one here, you have this planning to use PhET Sims, and the teachers and students speak. This is one question I keep having in the Gambia. You know, it's a drawback that we have sometimes, because when you communicate to a teacher, they tell you we have time constraints. So the time constraints they have, how do we introduce another teaching resource when you already have our lesson plans already sorted out? So it's always good to understand how do we inculcate PhET. And this is a proven record, even for the case of the Gambia. If you are able to properly design your lesson plans, you're able to spend less time teaching something that students struggle to understand for over weeks, right? So it's always good to understand what the goals for teachers and the students are. You have this all these contents that you can read. You have the writing learning goals. How do you write learning goals? For example, myself, I'm not a trained teacher. I've never been teaching in any school, and also I understand how to use PhET. So, but it's also important for me to understand how to design lesson plans. This is something that I've gone through, and I really appreciated how when I went through the entire fellowship process to understand how to do this. So you have more information, and one key thing that is also very important that African teachers keep asking for is, how do I access the simulation offline? Because in our country like Gambia, we do not have a reliable internet in schools, and not to even talk about, let's say, rural communities where you have electricity issues and all that. So if I click on the offline access, I'm able to download the offline version of the PhET Sim, but it does come with some limitations. You know, one of those limitations is a teaching resource. It's not still in this particular platform that you download. So let's say if you're using Windows computers, you can download here. If you're using the Mac, you can download here. And equally, you can also download the Sims from the Google Play Store and all that. But with the Google Play Store, it does come with a bit of charges, but the charge is very limited. I think it's about $0.99, which is less than $1 or something. But it's sometimes difficult for African teachers to download, because usually you have payment issues and all that. So this is one thing that you can utilize. And another one is, let's say if I'm a physics teacher and I don't want to download everything on the site. Maybe I'm teaching my students the next month on how to build a nucleus, you know, how to teach them on how to understand what nuclear decay is, what isotopes are. I can literally just download this one, and this is how you download this. You click on this particular icon and then you download it. And then you also have the possibility of embedding this particular PhET simulation. Let's say you use the PMI system, or what, you have your own presentation on your board. You're able to embed this on your particular, let's say your presentation, let's say a PowerPoint presentation and all that, and you're able to use it independently on that particular website without actually leaving the presentation. Let's say on your PMI board, and just do it. You know, though it does come with constraints, because if you are not connected to internet, you are not able to use it. But if you download it from here, you're able to use the sim single-handedly. If I download this, I'm only downloading this particular simulation, not the entire simulation. Let's say I'm in class and there's not enough proper internet connectivity. I do not have the luxury of time to download everything. I would presume that I will download this simulation a day or two before my lecture. I will work on my lesson plans, and I will have, let's say, a strict way or a strict flow of what I need to do when I'm in class. And here you have a point where you are able to, let's say, share with your social media and all that. And then you have other options that you can do, like I said, the related Sims and all that, and all the other things that you can explore on this particular website. Over to you, Blessing, and thank you guys for having me.
Thank you so much, Mohammed. Let me see some clap. Let me see some, a bit of round of applause for Mohammed. Thank you. You did a wonderful taking us through the PhET website. I would also add to it that on the group, I would share a video on how to register, because it's quite important for you, as it mentioned. Wait, let me quickly share my screen. as he mentioned, it is quite important. Oh, before I go further, I see a hand raised up. Yusuf, you have a question for Mohammed? Ask your question. Yusuf, you can unmute and ask. Muftar Yusuf.
Yes, I don't have a question right away.
Well, I see your hands raised.
It was a mistake.
Okay, no problem. All right, so thank you so much, Muhammad. Has he emphasized you have to register on the PhET website, and it is free. It's free of charge to register. There is no payment to it, okay? Because if you see, like if you click a simulation here, if you go down, where's that part? If you go down, if you go to the teaching resources, which he showed, if you go down, you have to sign in as a teacher, okay? And what this teaching resources simply tells you, it tells you all about the simulation, everything about, the keys and all that to go through it, okay? So that's what the teaching resources does, all right? So please, I will share that video on the group, on the WhatsApp group. Please, if you are not, I'm registered on Coursera, it's the lesson plans that is my challenge. On the group, we are going to discuss that. And if it's a lesson plan that's your challenge, I think next week, Saturday, we're dealing with the activity design, your lesson plan, okay? So please make sure you're in that session, because that's where we're going to treat that, okay? But for today, for the newcomers, we are introducing them to PhET, what PhET is, where to get the resources. That's what we are doing right now, okay? So, so he has said, so it's quite important to register as a teacher on the site. I have done a video of that, so you don't, there's a particular place you might have a little problem, a challenge with, but that video has explained how you can cross over that particular little challenge, okay? And register. When you're registered, you have access to everything, okay? As I said, you can download here any simulation, click on it, you can read about the simulation, where the topics are, sample learning goals, and all that. Okay, I've also done a video. If you don't understand this, I've also done a video on how to navigate and find sims. I'm going to share all this on the WhatsApp group. Okay, and I've been sharing. Please, okay, you want to be on the WhatsApp group? I'm going to share it again. Please do join the WhatsApp group. It is very, very, very important, because you can ask all your questions there. All right, I have shared this. I have shared the WhatsApp group link on the video in the chat box. Okay, so now getting on, my colleague Godfrey. Godfrey, are you there? Who is this?
Yes,
please
can you get me?
Yes, I can get you. My Moriam Abdul, please stop writing on the screen. Please stop writing on the screen. We can see it and it's affecting. Hold on, let me stop sharing and share back. Share back so it clears off. Okay, Godfrey, do you want me to share my screen, or you do that yourself?
Let me try to share mine.
Okay, let me stop them. So Godfrey is going to take us, he's a PhET fellow from Kenya. He's going to take us on the benefits of using PhET simulation in your classroom to teach. Okay, you can share now, Godfrey.
Is my screen visible?
Not yet. It's just dark.
Oh, let me check what the problem is.
Blessing. Maybe if Godfrey is struggling to.
Okay, it's showing now.
Yeah.
It's showing now.
Okay.
Yeah. It's showing now.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I'll make myself. I am Godfrey from Kenya. I'm a PhET fellow. So thank every teacher in Nigeria and my fellow PhET fellows for coming on board. The number of teachers, that is 104, is impressive. I am very impressed by the number of teachers who are ready to learn. So let us learn together. Now I'm going to take you through the benefits of using PhET simulations. And the first one is interactive visualization. So this one fosters a visual dynamic learning and the concepts. So the learners are able to use their visual sense, that is the eye, just instead of just using the mind only. So the learners are able to use the eyes so that they can maybe immerse themselves in the learning. Then also it aids learning through scaffolding. So the content that students are supposed to learn is not bulk together, but they are given in bits. So the learner is able to just concentrate on a small section of the concept to learn bit by bit until all the knowledge of what the student is learning is got. So that is the advantage that it has. Another advantage that it has, it is self-assessment. So the learner is able to assess his learning and also judge whether learning has taken place or not. So the learner is able to get an instant feedback from PhET simulations. The next one is reinforcement. So they support multiple representation, pacing, and self-learning. So the learner is able to learn at his or her own pace without being guided. So the students work without being guided. So the simulations are free. They are not paid for. You can download, that is from the PhET website, and use it offline, either on your phone or on the laptop or computer. So they are free, so the students can able to learn without being guided. So simulation design supports students in constructing a robust conceptual understanding of math and science topics through exploration. So therefore, teachers are encouraged to make learners to explore. Instead of just telling them what the sim is, we want them to explore and construct knowledge from the simulations themselves. Now, there is evidence of increased learning. That is, there's some research that was done where a greater percentage of learners were able to answer conceptual questions. That is by using the simulations compared to when the physical experiments were done. So therefore, the blue bars and the green bars have a difference. So the correct answers that were given when the students were using simulations were higher than when the students were using the physical experiments only. So although we cannot remove the physical experiments, only the apparatus, we are always encouraged to fuse them together. So you can you can use both the simulation and the physical apparatus in the laboratory to enhance learning. So also, a greater percentage of students answered concept questions correctly when a sim was used. That is when the teacher was demonstrating, compared to when the physical experiments were done only. So therefore, the green part shows the percentage of learners who were able to answer concept questions correctly compared to the students who are able to answer concept questions using the physical experiments only. So therefore, using simulations enhance learning. So makes learners be able to understand what is being taught, understand the science concepts behind what they are learning. And this one was advantageous to the teacher and also the students. So evidence of increased engagement where there was a chemistry concept on polarity, and the students were given 10 minutes to explore. And 80% of all the sims featured across the screen, so majority of the students were talking about a polarity where group arrangement, when the sims were not being used, that is before the teacher introduces the simulation, only 6% of the students were conversing among themselves on the polarity concept of the chemistry part that was being taught. Then when the chemistry concept with the sim simulations were, the students who had the sim, 62% were talking about the polarity, and only 2% were able to talk about polarity when the teacher was interacting with the students, that is without the simulation. Then maybe during the homework and the lab, only 10% of the students were able to talk about the polarity. That is the concept that is learned in chemistry. Then 20% of the students were off the topic. They were not part of, it's like they were not part of that class. So this one was a challenge. So therefore, it means that when simulations are being used by the teachers, the learners are able to be part and parcel of the learning process. So let us try to use simulations to impact learning, to make the learners be in, and also to make learners be interested in the concepts that are being learned. Now, we have evidence of new classroom norms where seamless introduce exploration of new ideas. Learners were able to invent new strategies. Learners were also able to share ideas. That is communication and collaboration amongst the learners. So this one is vis-a-vis compared to non-sim lessons, which practice standard procedures like maybe a lecture method, which is not that good. And also non-sim lessons make learners be only to be recalling ideas, what they have learned. And the learning process are not taken place. That is, the students have not yet understood the concepts. They are only able to recite. So also the non-sim lessons make learners not be able, example, you have a class, you have introduced a simulation. So according to me, I believe that if my class is noisy, and that is they are talking about the simulation, it means that learning goes on. But in a non-sim lesson, we expect the students to be silent and wait for the instruction from the teacher. So the teacher is the owner of knowledge, and the students are only to absorb. So therefore, the sim lessons are interactive, they are good, they make learners be part and parcel of the learning process. Now, simulations are flexible. We can use them in different learning environments, and maybe in pre-lab, that is before the laboratory, before you take the students to the laboratory. They can also be used in a lecture, a lesson, and which we'll see the interactive lecture demonstration in our concept. Can also be used in a small classroom, the way the teacher and the students are using it on the left down there. And also it can be used on online learning, where the teacher distance learning or online learning. And that is great for us. So we can employ the sim lessons. Also nowadays, we can even integrate them with the virtual learning environments, like a Google Classroom, and give it students as assignment. And learning will continue even at home. Now, the simulations have different parts, and they encourage scaffolding. That is, the learning takes place in bits. We have the pedagogically powerful actions. So these students are able to manipulate the sim. They are able to change the variables, the way x is equal to 3 can be changed to x equal to 4. They are also able to use the interface, where the interface will show the students different values at different times. So the students will be able to use only one screen, the way this one is, and the screen is flexible. The learning will take place instantaneously. Yeah, so the use of simulation supports different learning goals. It supports different concepts. It supports relationships. That is, students can be able to relate one concept from another one. That is the relation between the concept in a simulation. So the students can also be able to predict, can also be able to tabulate, that is, collect data and use it in maybe getting a relation between two variables. The students can also be able to confirm an evidence, that is, proving a concept that the student is learning, maybe proving a theory. So simulations also encourage soft skills, that is the 21st century skills like collaboration, argumentation, which is also communication, planning, reflection, problem solving, and also it encourages students to learn the hard skills like laboratory techniques, quantitative and qualitative analysis, problem solving, and others. So finally, simulations are enjoyable, understandable, relevant, and also they help students to learn in a way that it's not a must that the teacher must be there so that the learning can take place. So let us get encouraged to this. Now, simulations can be used in different parts. Example, you have a topic, and in the topic, you want to start with an introduction part. So there is just a screen where the teacher can just use as introduction screen. You develop the topic as the complexity goes on. So therefore, the teacher is able to use different screens at different times or at different levels of the topic or the concept being learned. For example, we have this topic that is there, and the topic is divided into different parts. So you can start with introduction to motion. You can go to 2D kinematics. That is the projection of maybe a ball. You can go to Newton's motions, the same topic, but now the different parts of the simulation and different simulations are used at different times. So therefore, not only that one theme can be used for the whole topic, but you can divide the topic into bits, maybe starting with the introduction up to the time where the topic is concluding, and different types of themes will be used at different levels, which is a great use of theme. So therefore, we are also saying that you cannot remove a teacher from the classroom. So therefore, the teacher must remain a facilitator of learning. The teacher's work is only to facilitate. So the teacher is now the bridge between the theme lesson and the activity that the student is going to carry out in the classroom. So therefore, the teacher will remain a central place as a facilitator. So the teacher only aids learning to take place, and which is a great venture. So up to there, let me take back the screen to Blessing so that she can take us to the next level. So thank you so much, everybody. Welcome. Let's continue learning together. So Blessing, come on board.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Godfrey. Can we see some claps, thumbs up for Godfrey here? Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, I'm excited to introduce to us our Director for Global Initiative in PhET, Rebecca Vieira. She's here with us. Please, Rebecca, can you unmute and speak to everyone? And, share more light on the benefits of using PhET simulation as a teacher in class. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much, Blessing. Good day, everyone. Good afternoon to all of you. It's good morning for me. I'm speaking to you from Washington, D.C. I work at PhET, but I used to be a teacher. I taught physics in public high schools for many years, and then I've spent the past 10 years mostly working with teachers. So it's exciting to see all of you here learning about PhET simulations. I am just curious to know, and you can put it in the chat, how familiar are you with PhET simulations? Give me a 5 if you've used them before, you feel pretty comfortable with them. Give me a 1 if PhET simulations are brand new to you, or maybe it might be a 2, 3, or 4 if maybe you've heard about them, maybe you've just used them once. I'm just really curious to know, because I know that Blessing and Godfrey, and I think Mohammed was here as well. Many of our PhET fellows have been sharing about PhET simulations all across the continent. Okay, nice. So it seems like there's quite a few people who are brand new, and there are some folks who are discovering more today, like the lesson plan. So that's awesome. Thank you. So I guess the thing that I want to emphasize to all of you is that as I know Godfrey just mentioned, everything from the website is free. And I just want to make it clear that the work that we're trying to do is really to advance good teaching. So as much as we're saying, use PhET, really what we hope it is a doorway to making your job easier, to making students' job of learning easier as well, and more equitable. And really the focus of what Blessing will be taking you through over the next multiple weeks, it is about PhET to start for sure. And then it also moves more into how do you really teach in an active way? Some of you may already be doing this, but I will speak, from my own experience that when it comes to being a teacher, there's always ways to push ourselves and more importantly, to push our students, right? Because students change every year, even if you're the same person, your students are always different. I just wanted to share one additional resource because I know that some of you, you may still be wondering a little bit like, Godfrey did share a whole bunch of data, but what does that look like in an African context? And so I'm just going to put a link in the chat of an article. It's an open access article, so you can download it. And it is focused on physics, and PhET does more than physics, right? PhET does chemistry, mathematics, a little bit of life and earth sciences. But that article that I've just linked to you, it's a literature review by African educators from the University of Rwanda who looked at global studies of using PhET simulations. And so they've pulled data from all around the world, and they've shown that when teachers use this as opposed to traditional teaching, that students learn more, that the girls, in many cases, the girls don't perform as well as boys in physics classes, especially, and this is true in many types of math and chemistry, and it's not because the girls are not as smart. It has nothing to do with that. Oftentimes it has to do with maybe lack of exposure or less encouragement. There's lots of different reasons, but the point is that using PhET simulations often, helps the girls come to achieve at the exact same level as the boys. So that kind of active engagement we know is positive for everyone. The boys also improve, but the girls improve even more to come to meet the same level. So and then we also know that students tend to come to like math and science more, which we know is something that's really, really important, especially across the African continent where there's so many opportunities for development and for sustainable development, really. So that's what I really guess I wanted to share with you today is I hope, don't feel like we're trying to sell you a product, because that's not what we're here for. We don't think about ourselves so much as a company. We think about ourselves as a project within the physics department at the University of Colorado. We think about ourselves as a community, especially, with our PhET fellows, and then with all of the teachers who use our resources and all the students as well. Blessing, is there anything else that you would like me to speak to?
Oh, that's except you want to really, I don't know how much time you have. Can you let me know how much time you have?
I have a few more minutes. What would you like me to do?
A few more minutes. Okay. I know you're busy. I'm sure you have a meeting to run into, but can you quickly just talk on teaching with PhET's pedagogy?
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
Let me share.
Yeah, let me do that now.
Yep. And Blessing is right. Unfortunately, as you know, the job of a teacher continues and continues. So in a little while, I have to run down to there's high school students that are coming into a local university who are interested in going into STEM fields. So I'm going to go do a workshop with them with my husband, actually. So yeah,
okay.
Busy Saturday, unfortunately. Yeah, go ahead and you can put it into the slide mode.
Okay, 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
there we go. So here's another question for all of you. I am curious to know, if you were to self-reflect on your own teaching, would you say that your classroom is more on the level of, oh, you can go back, there you go. Is your classroom more on the level of teacher control or more on the level of student control? If you were to think about who's doing the most talking, is it students who are talking? Is it you who are talking? Where does that sit? And I will admit, there are times when all of these approaches are appropriate, but it's just something for you to think about. We know that, a lot of teachers, especially if you have a very, very big class and very few resources, maybe you're worried about student behavior, Maybe the classroom is set up in a certain way where it's directed towards the teacher. Many teachers want to have that control, and then teachers will be in the front of the classroom. And in other classrooms, maybe you might be able to have students sit in small groups. Maybe there is no clear front of the classroom, and as a teacher, you spend your time moving around students. That's more like student control. And while I say, I do think it's important to have a little bit of both of these, we're really trying to push people more towards the student control, but still scaffolded by the teacher. So what this course that you're going to go through with Blessing is going to do is it's going to show you different ways that you can engage students, even when the teacher's in the front of the classroom. Even if the students don't have gadgets, there are things that you can do to help students have whole group discussions and small little things, right? Like asking a question, and then also telling your students to tell each other their answers before they share out as a whole group. So what we call think, pair, and share, which many of you may do. But we specifically have 3 different approaches that we'll be focusing on with PhET Simulations. So like I said, one is whole class inquiry. That's about how to ask really generative questions and how to use the simulation to help verify or test different predictions. We'll also have interactive lecture demonstrations, which is where the teacher presents a simulation and then asks students a question. But instead of just having them talk like students will just normally talk, having them really commit to an answer and then writing down why they believe their prediction. And then even before they tell you their answer, they then tell their peer. They talk about it and maybe they change their prediction. And then you as a teacher show them a simulation and then see what happens, what actually happens. And then before they even talk to you, they might be thinking about, well, why is that different? And how does my thinking have to change? So it's very what we call metacognitive. It makes students aware of their own thinking. And then the third approach for a whole class where the teacher's in the front is using something called concept questions, which are generally multiple choice questions, but they're really thoughtful questions. They're not just about recall. They're about predictions. They're about justifying responses. They're about identifying priorities, all different kinds of things. So there's going to be lots of resources that Blessing will be sharing with you, and hopefully you'll be sharing with each other, where you'll try using PhET simulations because it just allows you to be more flexible. And then the other thing you'll be focusing on is how to create small group or independent activities. And most of the time, teachers will create some kind of like a worksheet that students will respond to. And there's certain ways to make worksheets that are more effective than others, because we want to give students space to explore, to ask their own questions, and really to engage in inquiry. So I thank you so much for sharing. And I understand, like, Sakinat, I see that you're mentioning distance learning. That presents its own challenges. And so, sometimes you don't even know how their students are interacting. Sometimes they're not interacting with each other because they can't. So there's lots of things that we can do, lots of questions we can ask to encourage students to be creative and to be thoughtful. And even if, distance learning may be hard to get student voice engaged, there's still questions you can ask them so that they are the one doing most of the thinking and doing most of the work. And it's not all relying on you. All right, I think I've covered it, Blessing. Make sure you unmute yourself, Blessing.
Oh, so sorry about that. I said thank you so much, Rebecca.
Thank you, Blessing. I'm sorry I can't stay much longer, but I'm excited for everybody to be part of the course.
I understand. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Okay, see you next time. Okay. All right. So thank you so much, Rebecca, for taking out time here. Okay, because she has some commitment, also a training very soon. Okay, so she has spoken a lot on how our teaching is. Is it more teacher control or more student control? And what the PhET simulation is trying to do, and the PhET pedagogy is trying to create, is to make it more student control, with the teachers being at the background, creating scaffolds to help the students go through a particular, topic or concept they are being taught. So we have the whole class inquiry method, pedagogy, we have interactive lecture demonstration, we have concept questions. All this you will see in details in the Coursera course, okay? And quickly, we're going to look at a particular simulation for 2 minutes. Mohammed, are you there? Godfrey, are you there? Can you help me share the link? Hold on, let me share the link. I'm going to share a link to this simulation now in the chat box. Okay, I want everyone to go click on the link on your phone. Okay, you can click there. You know, you can work on this. You know, why I love the PhET simulation is that on your mobile devices, on your tablet, on your computer, you can navigate around the simulation. So I want us to please do click on that link and go to the simulation. I want us to play around the simulation for 2 minutes. I will also open up the simulation here. Okay, I want us to play around the simulation for 2 minutes. So when you click on that link, it should take you here. Remember what Mohammed taught you. Click here, okay, and it will take you to the simulation. All right, and you click on the simulation. Systems, you go to systems. Okay. So I want us to go in there now and play around the simulation. One minute, let me quickly copy this. Let us play around the simulation. If we are in the simulation, can I see a thumbs up? Are you with me? If you're in the simulation, can I see a thumbs up in the chat box? If you are walking through the simulations, let me see a thumbs up. Okay, great, great. So I want us to play around the simulation now. Let me know what you wonder about the simulation. What do you notice? What do you observe when you click on it? Mr. Akinola, please don't write on the screen. You can't see the link. I will share the link again. 1 minute. Yes, the sims are translated. I say in Yoruba, in Hausa, the sims are translated. Igbo, the sims are translated. Okay, I'm sharing the link again to the simulation. So I want us to tell me, I'm going to have just 2 people that would tell me what they observe about this simulation. 2 people that want to speak. What do you wonder? What do you observe about the simulation? Or we are still going through it? Okay, no one has raised their hands up, so it should mean we are still going through it. Okay, Bukola. Yeah, Olu Bukola, you can speak. Yeah. What do you observe about the simulation?
Yes, what I have been doing so far was picking each of the objects in the columns below. And I could see that for every object I click on, it appears on that, it takes the position of the child on the bike. And of course, it also comes with a cursor that we can use to probably adjust the temperature or volume or something. But the most interesting thing I saw was when I clicked on the simulation and on the sun, and then I could see the clouds, none, and then to lots of cloud. As I was moving the button upwards, I could see that the clouds were increasing, and then the sun rays were going down. Indirectly, directly, the children can actually appreciate what happens when the weather gets cloudy, what happens to the sun rays, and then the ultimate effect that it will have on the water temperature. That's the fascinating thing I'm seeing. Exactly. And this is really, really very interesting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Mr. Smart, You can unmute and speak. Yeah.
Okay, I'm unmuted, but please, I may not be able to put on my video if you don't mind.
No problem. This is fine.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. What I found out is that in this case, I used the boy riding the bicycle. I increased the cost, the arrow. Okay, I moved the point. What I found out was that as he was moving, he had energy. Okay, and that energy is being transferred from him in through that belt to that winding, then into the water, meaning that the energy which he was generating by riding that bicycle is being transferred into the water. Maybe because I teach physics, it's the mechanical energy is now converted into heat energy.
Great.
You
great.
know, the temperature also moves. That's what I found out.
Great. I just wanted someone to say that conversion. Okay, so I want us to, it says, I see someone says a wonderful simulation. Yeah, good. It illustrates the concept of energy changes and conversion from one form of energy to another. So this is a beautiful simulation. This is just an example. Okay, and there are 190 simulations that can explain key concepts. Okay, you know, students don't know, you know, energy, you can't really see it. Are you with me? But with this, you can explain energy, how you can convert one form of energy to another. So this is mechanical. When we play it, okay, so this becomes what mechanical. The boy is riding. Where's my... Okay, the boy is riding. All right. And as the wheel turns, we begin to see something. There's a generator here that converts a cooling, this is a coil that converts this water, you know, helps it to increase, boil this water. So you can see energy conversion. He gets tired. What do you have to do? We have to feed him. He says, feed him. Hold on, my screen, there's so many things blocking. Feed me, you feed him. He eats and he has energy again and he starts riding again. Are you with me? I see Moni Adejobi, can you speak? Yeah, you can unmute and speak.
Yeah, good afternoon, Blessing. This is a wonderful session. What I saw in the simulation is it readily gives the children a real life situation of energy transformation without having them to learn by rote or memorizing.
Yeah.
That their daily activities are directly linked to a lot of the topics in whatever subject area. And that's the way I've been teaching. But this is really fascinating because, you know, normally I would have asked the children, okay, let's do this. Maybe we go to the car, you start the engine, and they try to think of how the energy is being converted from one form to the other. But this is showing the children the same thing while a child is having fun.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, madam. Okay, so you can see this doing the same thing, trying to get you to explain fundamental concepts easily. And the most interesting thing is, in a gamified manner, which child would see a child on a bicycle and won't want to play around this? Please tell me which child would see a child on a bicycle and would want to play around this? He will be so caught up and so interested. What is this about? He will keep on feeding and feeding. And with that play, with that gamification, learning takes place. And it's the best form of learning. When kids learn while they play, is the best form of learning. Are you with me? And it's engaging because you're asking, oh, what is happening? Oh, he's willing this. And you'll be so surprised that some children will want to do this at home. They might get their bike. Some children that are so, you know, creative and curious, they might get their bike, look for a belt like this, and try to want to just make it something like this physically at home. That is where STEM starts. And we are the ones who would make that move, we as teachers. So that's why we are calling on all teachers to please embrace this. So kids will love STEM more and be encouraged to do them. Because if we don't have more of the sciences in our country, I tell you, We will keep on importing and importing and importing everything into this country till only God knows when. Are you with me? So please, there are several of these simulations that we can use. Now I'm going to show you some others. Let me quickly back. Okay. I'm going to watch the time now. We have to go to a breakout session now. But here, this is just a brief explanation on whole class inquiry, which Rebecca has really talked on and summarized. It's the whole inquiry methodology helps with active learning, okay, where, you know, in situations where you just have a projector and a teacher, you can use this particular pedagogy to teach, okay, which you have to arrange some set of prompt questions, challenge prompt questions, engaging questions, and students, you know, and you engage students with these questions and they answer it. You know, you make it open-ended, so it helps them think out of the box, not just a yes or no answer. Are you with me? Because a yes or no answer would end the conversation, but an open-ended will want more conversation and engagement. So that's where the whole class inquiry helps out. We have the interactive lecture demonstration, okay? It helps with promoting engaging inquiry, okay? This, I would have loved to explain this, but in the maths, because we have to go to breakout sessions now. Mohammed, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, yeah.
Okay, can you break out, Dorothy, are you with us? Dorothy, are you still here?
I'm here.
Okay, so Mohammed, we need 4 breakout rooms: biology, chemistry, maths, and physics. Can you quickly do that for 25 minutes? Put a timer at 25 minutes so we can, after that, come back quickly and then round up.
Okay.
Yeah. When you're done, let me know.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. So also, quickly, interactive concept questions is quite good for, let's say you want to do assessment, assignments. You can set up a Google form, okay? If you have, because there was a particular time a lecturer was on this training. She said she had over 1,000 first-year man students. Yeah, I won't say the university. And she was asking how will she, you know, mark assessment and all that. And we told her about the interactive concept questions where you give them the simulation and, you know, you ask an open-ended question and you have the answers like an objectives, and they would go through a simulation to try to answer that. Okay, so I see that Mohammed has created the breakout section. So please, we're going to go into 4 breakout room. If you're a physics teacher, you go to the physics class. Okay. If you're a chemistry teacher, you join the chemistry. If you're the maths teacher, elementary teacher, okay, maths and elementary, go to the maths section. Also biology, go to biology, and you see different anchors there that will take you through specific simulations on those subjects. Okay, in the next 5 minutes, you're going to explore them together with your lead anchor there. So you can join. If you're using your mobile phone, you will see a sign, breakout rooms. When you click there, then you can select, all right? Then you can select, let me quickly stop sharing so I see who hasn't gone into the room, okay? Please, we can join now quickly for the next 25 minutes. Biology, go to biology. Physics, go to physics. Maths, mathematics, go to maths. Oh, wow, I see a lot of maths teachers. Chemistry, go to chemistry. You're going to meet Dorothy there. Maths, I'm going to join you soon. Just be patient with me. Physics, please do go and join Godfrey there. Godfrey is going to be with you in the physics room and it's going to take you through a physics simulation. Okay, biology, Mohammed is going to meet you in the biology room. Godfrey, I think your students are waiting for you in the physics room. Okay. If you're having any difficulty, please, can you have each of the breakout sessions recorded so that those, it's really not possible with this way I'm recording, okay? But on the WhatsApp group, okay, you can always ask your question. I'm still going to share the link to the WhatsApp group in the chat box again for everyone to join. Okay, so I can see that we still have 40 people here. Please do click on breakout. Click the breakouts. How do I join maths? If you're using your phone, you would see a sign breakout. Okay, you see a sign breakout room. Click on that and go to whichever subject you teach. I see 40, there are still 39 people here outside the rooms. Please do join. Please do join. Okay, do join a room. All right. Click. Breakout rooms. And join. You don't know how to, you can't find the breakout. If you're using your phone, just on the, I think your left hand, the top left-hand corner of your screen, you will see breakout. It should be either on the top left-hand or the right or below. You will see 3 dots. Okay, you will see 3 dots. So click on it and join, all right? Can you hear me, everyone? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry, I'm just trying to help others navigate their way. Okay, I'm trying to help, okay, no problem. I was trying to help others navigate their way into the various breakout rooms. That's why it took time. Well, first of all, for my math teachers, I will first give you a simulation. Let me drop it in the chat box. Okay, I have dropped a simulation on the chat box now. So I want us to click on that simulation. It's a math simulation. And I want us to explore it in the next 10 minutes. Let me know what you observe about that simulation. If you have seen it, just say yes. Have you seen the link to the simulation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Please explore it in the next 10 minutes. Let me quickly, I need to quickly go to the, help others, go into other groups. Okay. Are we exploring the simulation?
I have not seen it.
I have sent the link.
I click on the link. It didn't show anything on my phone.
It should.
Yes, we are exploring it. It's showing a graph, and you can, move on with the graph.
This is the link. It's showing.
Yes. It's there.
Okay. This is the link, and I'm here. So when you click on this link,
yeah, I can.
Okay, you can see it now, sir. Okay. So you click on the first explore. Yeah. Okay. So just give me some moments while.
So Thank you for being here. Okay, Blessing.
Yes. Are you having any issues here? Are you good?
No. I've assigned most of those participants who do not understand or who would find a group, and I think they're all assigned to a group now.
Yeah.
So we're good to go. Yeah.
Okay, you can continue. Okay, take care.
Right. Okay. Good,
Hello?
Godfrey, are you okay? Are you having issues here?
Yeah, I had issues, but I think now I'm okay.
Okay.
I don't know, can you get?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Okay, you can go ahead. Yeah, take care.
Yeah, so maybe, I don't know if one of us, I'm now using my phone because my laptop had a problem.
Oh.
If one of us can maybe have a SIM, we share, then we talk about it.
Okay, let me select a SIM for you, Godfrey. So I just dropped a SIM for circuit simulations where everyone can work on, since you don't have your laptop. So I have dropped the SIM. Have you seen it on the group? Have you seen it in the chat box? Physics teachers? Let me hear it. Let me see a thumbs up. Let me see a thumbs up if you have gotten it. Anyone?
Yes, ma'am, we have seen it.
Okay. Okay. So you can click on the simulation, explore it, then, you work with Godfrey. Thank you. So Godfrey, I'm leaving you now.
Oh, that's okay.
All right.
So maybe you can create a circuit and demonstrate how we can use it to teach a concept in a physics classroom. Just a simple circuit.
To class so that they are able to know what it's like. They can group and know the various, if an acid or a base or anything like that. For us in Ghana, I think most of the lessons are very theoretical. So a teacher will come to class, and then what you will learn is the definition of an acid, the pH.
Yes. So what have we observed about, I don't know, has anyone, how many of us have gone through this simulation?
Hello, I've gone through it actually.
Okay, so what do you observe about it?
Okay, this one we're given is for plotting quadratic equation graph, for plotting quadratic graph. So it now depends on what you impute on it that will give you the shape of the graph. Also, if you make the x squared part 0, you get a straight line graph. However, there is one thing I noticed. I found that when I tried plotting x squared plus 6x plus 9, I had a little issue. It didn't get to 9, maybe because of my phone. That's just what I noticed. I try, getting this a perfect square graph.
Okay. Okay.
So that's just what. Then the other thing is each of those places, when you click on them, they show what they have in them. For example, if you click on the part that will tell you the roots, whichever point you have, it will take you, it will show it on it. Moreover, down on the left and the right hand side of the graph. Okay, if you pick that point, if you place it anywhere, it will tell you that location. It will tell you that point. So if you move it, it will tell you that point. That's what I just moved.
Good job. Good job. Any other person has explored the simulation? Does any other person want to speak?
Yes, ma'am.
Please speak.
Hello. Yeah, I also have played with it, and what I observe is, yes, if you can move, you can shift the graph from the left to the right and from up to bottom, depending on the values that you choose for x and the variable for the coefficient of x and the constant. So if you want to shift the graph down, you have to change the variable of the coefficient of x, and if you want to shift it from left to right, you have to play with the constant.
Good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, so you see that, I would have quickly taken you to WAEC. Okay, WAEC examiner's report. Okay, WAEC examiner's report for the past several years, in fact, 10 years. My math teachers, you know that to plot graph has been the #1 problem of our students. Do we agree?
Yes, we agree.
Yes, that's very true.
Agreed.
So you see, with this now, one thing I noticed when students come out from the WAEC call, they'll start asking, what is the shape of your graph? Is your graph U? Is your graph N? How did your graph stay? This one say, no, it must be U. No, it must be N. And they start, making arguments. So with this simulation, you can tell them that and reinforce the knowledge that the value of the coefficient of x squared, which is A, determines how the shape of your graph should look like. And with just them simply playing around with this, can you see that? Can you see this? Just simply playing around with this shows you that if A is negative, your graph will be an N. If A, the coefficient of your x squared is positive, your graph will be a U shape. Are you with me? So this is very important. Even for for B, it shows you where that B, the value of B will always be touching on our Y. All right? Or no, sorry, your value for C will always be on the Y axis. Are you with me? So with this, you can really, really reinforce the knowledge of plotting of your graphs. And with these stickers also, you can see this. You can also teach the concept of them having to, their units, 2 units to how many centimeter, this centimeter. You can use that to teach them how to, number your graphs in such a way that your graph plot will come out nicely. Okay, when WAEC tells you it should be 2 centimeter to 1 unit, or 1 centimeter to 2 units or 5 units. So with this, you can teach them and help them out in their forthcoming examination. All right. I want to quickly go through some maths simulations for our elementary. Let me quickly just go through our elementary teachers here. There are several. There are several math simulations here. This is just one, which is number play, where kids can learn their numbers and even play some games here. Okay, you can see here, there's a game part. My daughter plays this, 3-year-old daughter plays this. You go here, you pray, you teach them how to count. When they count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then when they count 8, it also helps them, try to recognize the number. How does 8 look like? They go click it and, a gold star. And they go to the next one. They count the butterflies. So this teaches them counting. All right. From here, you can open up the words. This teaches them also the words. 1, how 1 is spelled. How many dots are 1? Oh, 1 means 1 puppy. 2 means 2 puppy. Okay, I'm just quickly, going through because an elementary teacher asked me if there's something for elementary. There are several videos for elementary here, even to teach your times table. Let me go back. For maths, there are also several. For advanced math, secondary school, you see a lot there. You can always play around. When you go to all the simulations, go to the math section, it will bring out everything here. Okay? You see quadrilateral, you will see calculus, ratio, proportion, number line, distance, vector, addition, fractions. My elementary teachers, primary school teachers, look at fractions, how to build the fractions, what fractions are. Okay? You will see down here, look at your arithmetic multiplication. Very important to every child. Okay? Your multiplication table. And also it teaches a factor. You know, you choose the level, the degree on, if the child just knows 1 to 5 times table, okay, it says 5 times 6. How does the child get 5 times 6? You know, it now teach them the law of what? What is it called? Let me know. Repetitive addition. Okay, so to get 6 times 5, it means you count 6 5 times. So they will count all the boxes, and it will give them the value, and they write for 30 and check. Are you with me? That's for elementary teachers. Okay, so quickly we have to quickly go back to the main room so that we can. Are you with me? Okay, so we quickly have to go back to the main room so we can close the session today. All right. So there are several simulations that we can use, okay, to explain maths, both from our elementary to our secondary level. Okay. So we are going to meet now in few seconds in the main room so we can close out. I don't want to take your time. Okay, we've taken enough time today. It's almost 1 o'clock. All right, so we're going to meet there. Hello, Mohammed, are you guys back?
Hello, Blessing.
Yes. Because of time, I had to close the breakout rooms, okay?
Right. I just realized it. So
it looks as if time hasn't gone, right?
Yes.
Okay. But we all have busy schedules, so we have to close the group. So I'm going to hear first from the chemistry group. One person from the chemistry group, tell us how was your chemistry breakout room? Quickly, in 1 minute, please. I don't want to take your time. In 1 minute.
Organic compound. How do you use organic compound?
Dorothy? Dorothy,
I think money is talking. So money,
Good afternoon once again.
Good afternoon, ma. Good afternoon.
The chemistry group was at least very interesting in the sense that the instructor, or let me say our facilitator, actually asked us the question on our entry points, taking a particular topic, and she just built upon that And I think that was just the height of it. So she started from what we do normally and how to improve on what we do, which was very interesting.
Oh, good. Great. Great one. Thank you. Okay, from the physics room. The physics room. The physics room. Can someone speak? How did the physics breakout room go? Anybody?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, the physics group is very, very interesting in the sense that we're able to learn how simulation is done with very simple circuit that can make students to understand the basic knowledge behind electrical connection of circuits. It's a very interesting program.
Great, great.
Thanks to pass it because I help us to do that in short while.
Great, great one. Okay, what about the biology room? Anybody? One person from the biology room quickly. One person? And one person speak from the biology room quickly.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
In the biology group, one of the things we were able to explore, we explored the interface of the simulations more and now realized how we could use other simulations for other topics not necessarily identified on the website. So for example, right in one of the physics simulations can actually be used to teach diffusion and movement of particles in biology. So it's just let us know that we can explore across different simulations for different topics. Thank you.
Great, great. Thank you very much. Okay, what of the maths room? One person from the maths room.
Yeah, my name is Smart Onwara.
Okay.
Hello?
I can hear you, Smart. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. The maths simulation was very interesting. It was plotting of graph where we have this constant given, this equation given y is equal to x squared plus bx plus c, and we can now change the coefficients of the x squared, coefficient of x, and the b. In case we input a value that wouldn't give any real solution, it will show that there are no real values, no real roots for the equation. And also, if we make the x squared 0, it turns it into a straight line graph. Then if our a is negative, it shows the direction in which the shape of the graph, in this case, it becomes an N, but if it is positive, it's a U. Thank you.
Oh, good. Great, great. Okay, so we have seen from the various subject requirements, okay, that we can use this simulation to teach real concepts that can help the students, specific important concepts that we can use to help students understand STEM better, okay? And we've seen, we've touched several simulations and we see that it's quite interactive, it is quite engaging, okay? That's why we are asking for you to please embark on this course with us, because this is just the beginning. You're still going to learn in depth on how to apply this in the classroom. You're going to learn how the various pedagogies you are going to use. So please stay with us. Don't give up. Anyway, I'm going to be on the group encouraging you to move, do it, and you can go and finish up, okay? Not just about the certificate, but also implementing this in your class. If you know of, there's some questions that come up with, how can I use this? How can I use this and, add it up with my curriculum? Is it possible? Can I always use a simulation to teach every subject? No, it might not be possible right now, but you can start now. You know those important concepts, okay, in your subjects that you teach, in chemistry, in physics. I always like using the quadratic graph in mathematics because it's very important, a key question in WAEC. And from the examiner's report in WAEC, students always have problems in plotting graphs. So, but with this simulation, you can break that jinx, okay, and help students understand how to plot a graph and never be confused when they enter the exam hall. So you can use this to help them take in key fundamental concepts with joy and with play. And it's a wonderful way to learn, okay? So what's next? Please do join the WhatsApp group. I'm going to share the link to the WhatsApp group again to everyone. I'm going to share the link to the WhatsApp group again, and I've just shared that. And yes, the assignments, the resources, the materials, all are going to be in Coursera, okay? All are going to be on the Coursera app. As I've said earlier from the beginning of the course, I have said that you will be receiving 3 emails from us, 3 emails that look like this. I'm going to be sharing that on the WhatsApp group, so please do join the WhatsApp group. Immediately after this, I'm going to be sharing some things. You're going to be receiving this email at least latest by tomorrow. You should get this in your email box. You are to join the course on Coursera via this email. It is a Coursera. Coursera is an application, is a learning platform, okay, where you put in materials. You know, lectures have already curated and arranged structured materials for you to go through. So for our first week, which is Introduction to Simulation, when you click and enter into that course, you will see week 1 and week 2. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry, I'm taking your time. Please pardon me the next, we don't usually do this, but just pardon me the next few minutes. So when you accept the 3 courses, these are the 3 courses: Introduction to PhET, Activity Design, Implementation. The first one you're to do is Introduction, then you go to Activity Design, then the final one is Implementation. I'm going to be sending a document that summarizes and explains everything on the WhatsApp group. But let me quickly take you through this. So please do join immediately the 3 of the courses. So when you click on Introduction to PhET Simulation, you can see there are over 2,000 people. You can see this, and 800 people have enrolled from Nigeria. All right. So for this, wait, let me leave this. Let me go to student view, view as a learner, because that's the back end view. All right. So you have, for this first week, you have to do week 1 and week 2. Okay, we have to do week 1 and week 2. So week 1, you'll go through. Let me click on week 1. Week 1 goes through introduction. You go through all these learning materials. There are some videos. There are some things you learn, you read. Okay, and it takes you through all this. Then the assignment there is you selecting a PhET sim, a simple PhET sim. Okay, when you click there, please go read through the instructions. Be patient and read through the instructions, please. Now, you click on this document. This is a document you have to work on and upload to submit. So when you click here, it takes you to the document. You have to edit it according to the instructions given. Put all the things that you need to put in here. Then when you are done with that, you come here to My Submissions. You put your signature, your name. Okay, yes, I understand. Please do put your name, because that's what will appear on your certificate. Okay, then you give the assignment. It can be your name and selecting simulation. Then this is where you upload your assignment and submit it. After you submit, you have to review about 3 people or more than 3 people. Okay, reviewing 3 people, there's a process to review. Review is like marking, so it's a peer grade platform. All right, so you are marking other people's work. Please, if they don't do the right thing, there's a rubric that will be given according to that particular guidelines and rule. If they don't get it, don't mark it correctly, and give them a positive feedback. Oh, you can do this, do that, and all that. And it grades everyone on the system. It's automatic. Once you are graded well by your peers, that's why it is 3 people are going to grade your work. So if 3 people says you are wrong, then the probabilities are you are wrong. Okay, so 3 people can just say you are wrong, and you say you think you are right. It means that you must have done something not good. So go back, work on it, and resubmit, and so you'll be graded again. Okay, so that's what you do and submit. Don't worry, I will share a video that explains it also on the WhatsApp group in case you don't still get it. I'm also there to give you support. So this is for week 1. When you're done with week 1, so this is for this week. This is the work you're going to do this week. Week 1 and week 2. You go to week 2 this week. Okay, so week 1 and week 2 are for introduction to PhET, which is this week. Okay, on Saturday, we're going to start activity design, and I'm going to show you what you'll be doing also in activity design. But for this week, you're going to do these 2 models, which is week 1, 2. So week 2 is you reading on strategies, whole class strategies, concept questions, and interactive lecture demonstration. So you are going to pick one. All right, you don't need to do the 3. You're going to pick one and work on it and do the assignments. Don't worry, I'll share a sheet that explains all this because of time. All right, so this is the breakdown of what you're going to be doing this week. If you have any other questions, I will be sharing it on the WhatsApp group. Okay, and sorry, hold on, where am I now? Where? Okay, yeah, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, so the week 1 is first selecting PhET simulation. Then you are going to pick, is it whole class inquiry? Is it LID, which is interactive lecture demonstration, or concept question? You will pick one and do the assignment and submit and grade others. Please do grade others so you also will be graded. All right. And when you're done with that, you receive the certificate of that first week 1. Okay. And we go to the next week, which is activity design. All right. So thank you so much for staying till this time. So sorry for taking 10 minutes of our time. Okay. And right now, please, if you really do want to leave, you can leave now. But if you have questions, please do ask your questions now. I and my colleagues, we are here to answer you. Okay, yeah, I see. Dafe, you can unmute and ask your question.
Good afternoon, Ma. Thanks for the time and the training. I tried registering on the link sent by the I've forgotten the name though. I tried registering on that group, and there is an icon there's an icon that states the school where I teach. So I tried to put in the name of the school, but it wasn't reflecting. So how do we manage that? How do we go about that?
Okay. Yes. Are you on the group? Are you on the WhatsApp group?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to share a video again. Okay. On how to register. It's going to show you how to navigate that particular part. Okay. It's a 5 minutes video. Watch that video and you'll be able to register freely. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other question before my colleagues give their final remarks? Yes, Mr. Eric, you can ask your question.
Madam, please, can you give me the WhatsApp number instead of the link?
For a group, I can't give you a number for a group. Or do you want my number? Is it my WhatsApp number you want? I'm going to type it on the group.
Yes, please.
1 minute. Okay, my WhatsApp number. I'm going to drop it on the group. Any other question before we leave? I've dropped it on the group, Mr. Eric. Yeah.
All right.
It's on the chat, on the chat. Any other question? Feel free to ask your questions now before we leave. Okay, if no other question, I want us to type in the chat box, what have we received? What have you learned? One specific thing, that's your exit, your final exit ticket. What have you received? What have you learned? One specific thing that you have learned. And while you're doing that, I would love my colleague, let's start from lady, Dorothy, please, your final remarks. Dorothy, are you there? Oh, if she's not there, Mohammed, do you have something to say? Your final remarks.
Not much, blessing. Just to say, thank you for setting this up. And like I was just telling my colleagues in the Gambia, the WhatsApp group that they have, that Nigeria is one country that do not joke. You know, anytime we have an activity in Nigeria, it's always hundreds that will come and join. So kudos to Nigerians, and it's very inspiring to see the energy that you put in making things happen, especially for Africa. So basically, that's what I'm gonna say. And just a quick one. This does not only stop at the regular schools, but even the mainstream schools where you have special need kids, especially for deaf students. You're able to use this to make them understand mathematics, because a lot of teachers would have to struggle to sign certain things in mathematics or chemistry or biology. So basically that's it. And thank you for having me here, Blessing, and have a great day.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mohammed. Okay, Godfrey, are you here? Godfrey, are you here?
Yes. Yeah, I am around.
Yeah, please, your final remarks, please.
Yeah, so thank you so much. I am grateful for being part of this team, and I'm seeing the teachers in Nigeria are very energetic and very enthusiastic, and ready to learn. So let us learn together. Let us make the quality of teaching in Africa to be at par or even greater than other countries around the world. So I wish all the best. I wish you a successful and industrial learning session. So thank you so much. Blessing.
Yeah. Dorothy, are you there?
Dorothy. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, please, your final remarks.
Okay, so I don't know. I think Mohammed, Godfrey, yourself, Rebecca, everybody has said all that needs to be said. So I would just encourage you. I know Coursera is very, very difficult to navigate. Don't lose hope. Just keep on. We are all on the WhatsApp platform. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and we'll be there to offer any assistance that we can. Thank you.
Okay, Godfrey, someone is asking for your contacts. I would, if you're on the group, okay, I'm going to add everyone, Mohammed, Dorothy, Godfrey on the WhatsApp group, so you can feel free to, they're going to drop their contacts, okay? So I would open it up to them. I'll make them.
I think I'm in I am in your WhatsApp group.
Okay, you're in the group. Okay. I'll make you guys admin, so you can always feel free to, reach out to them. He's in Gambia. I know that's why I made a very, sweet colleagues of different parts of Africa. So it's interesting. We hear how Mohammed speaks from Gambia. We hear how Godfrey speaks from Kenya, and we hear how Dorothy speaks from Ghana. So, and by God's grace, there will be someone from Ethiopia. The next Setigan will be here from Ethiopia by God's grace on Saturday with us. And, we have a feel of what other educators around Africa are doing. So thank you so much, everyone, for staying to the end of this video. The first meeting. I appreciate your time with me. Over 18 minutes spent. I'm so sorry for okay. You say you need the WhatsApp link. I'm going to drop it again. Hold on. Let me drop it again. Please, it's very important that we're on the WhatsApp group. It's going to solve majority of any problems you have. Your support, everything is going. We're going to be there to support you through the Coursera transition. Okay. So thank you so much, and see you next Saturday. And if you have enough data, let me see your faces and just quickly take a screenshot. Is that possible? Let me see if you can put on your video camera on, and just a smile this Saturday. Let me see that smile.
Guys, give us a jealous smile. A
okay,
jealous smile.
Yes. Let me see your jealous smile. Let us see your jealous smile. Okay, let me see your jealous smile. Great. I'm going to share that on the group. Okay, great smile. Let me quickly share that on the group now. All right. As I take oh, nice, lovely. I see all your smiles. Great one. Thank you so much, and bye. Olubukola, thank you so much for participating. I appreciate all for participating. Rashida, thank you so much. Mrs. Francisca, Chukunonso, I see Tose, I see Elvis, I see Kwasim, Busari, I see Mrs. Omomi, Raymond, Thank you so much. Bye. And I will see you again on Saturday. And throughout on the WhatsApp group, I'm going to keep it open a time frame in the morning and also at in the evening. Okay, so you can ask every of your questions. It's not going to be open throughout the day, but in the morning and the evening, I will open it up for you to ask questions. Okay, so thank you so much and see you next week. Bye.